What's up, Super Squirrels? I'm Gigi of Puckin' Chaos, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. On the first episode of the Weekend Project, yes, I'm renaming my sneaker custom videos to be named that because, you guessed it, sometimes it takes a weekend to complete a sneaker transformation. I'm going to be showing you how I turn these used Nike high sneaker wedges I purchased off of eBay and turn them into these black and yellow corny dream kicks. I call it corny because when you paint the gator print yellow, it looks like corn. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe for more detailed step-by-step painting lessons like this. All right, let's get into painting these sneaker wedges into this week's weekend project. As you can tell just by looking at this shoe, this is gonna be an upward battle just on working on the midsoles. I usually don't worry about the outer soles or the bottoms of the sneaker, but I'm gonna put in a lot of effort to get them back to as close as white as I can. And to do that, I actually built an indoor lighting setup and it was cheap, which I'll talk about the construction of that in another video. So, we see our starting point, let's jump into cleaning these suckers. You're going to need a large towel, your small tub of water and laundry detergent, your cleaning brushes, which I purchased from Rejuvenator, a shoe tree, your shoe of course, and a pair of gloves. After we get everything in place, first things first, remove the shoelaces and toss those to the side for now. Next, let's go ahead and adjust and insert the shoe tree into the shoe. You're doing this so the shape will hold while you're putting pressure on it through the cleaning process. And now we're gonna start the scrubbing process with the soft brush. This helps to build up a lot of suds on the shoe and it's the first stage of loosening up any dirt on the shoe. With the soft brush, you're even going to work the sock liner and tongue of the shoe. Anywhere where there's fabric, you can use the soft brush on it. And as you can see, I even take out the insole to try to give that a good clean. The previous owner went barefoot a lot. Now let's move on to using the medium brush on the uppers. And now to start tackling our Everest, the midsoles. Just to set expectation, don't expect there to be much change by you scrubbing down the midsoles with these brushes. Will it loosen up dirt? Yes. But the main problem with these midsoles is the deep stain brown, red, and yellow into the material, so we're gonna have to take extra steps to pull that out. After that's done, let's not forget about the laces. All right, now we're gonna throw everything into a laundry bag, the insole, sneaker, and laces, and put that into the washing machine. You can have the setting at warm cold or cold cold. When the cycle was done, I was looking over the sneaker and it was bugging me that the fabric on the liner, the tongue, and the insole was still brownish black. I applied a Clorox bleach gel pen to the areas and let it sit for hours. I think I let it sit for a little over 3 hours because I was running errands that day. And when I came back, before I even cleaned off the gel, you can see a big difference in how it looked. It got rid of the stains, especially in the insole, which I was surprised about. I laid out my cleaning station again, pulled out my soft bristled brush, and gave them another good scrub. And I could see that even more dirt was coming off, which is fantastic. I threw everything back into the laundry net and washed them again on warm cold. Now, this was my first time using the bleaching pen on a pair of shoes. Next time I do this, I'll obviously do this before the initial sneaker cleaning. So next time, I'll take the laces off and then apply the bleach pen, let it sit, and then start the scrubbing party. This way, I only have to throw the shoes into the laundry once. Get me? Alrighty, moving on. The sneakers are finished with the wash. They're looking so much better than they were before. We're gonna insert the shoe tree again and let this puppy air dry in the windowsill overnight and halfway into the next day. The next day, our shoe is feeling dry, so now onto the real battle with this sneaker, which is unyellowing the midsoles. And before we even get into it, this took 2 days to do. Yeah, and I went about the unyellowing in 2 different ways. The first way was via John Manalo's method that I picked up while watching one of his sneaker cleaning YouTube videos. And that involves 3% hydrogen peroxide, cornstarch, and some OxyClean versatile stain remover powder. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know what the portion rate of each item is. After I added the hydrogen peroxide and OxyClean, I just kept adding a lot of cornstarch and stirring it until it got thick enough. And when I say thick enough, I mean it wasn't running like water. The consistency of this stuff was weird. I'd stir it and it'd feel like it was melted styrofoam, but when I tried to pick it up and apply it to the shoe, it was like a light gel-like consistency. So yeah, I went ahead and applied it to the bottom of the sneaker like so. I placed a strip of plastic wrap over it and then placed it into my homemade Lightroom. I let it fry for hours. As you can see, when I remove the plastic wrap, the solution is baked in there. To take it off, all I did was take it to the sink and use a wet towel and a stiff or brash brush to wash the solution off and give it a light scrub. And as you can see, even after that first run through, it's looking a lot better. So I decided to do it again, and there's an incremental improvement. Now, onto the second method of unyellowing, which is 40 volume cream. I apply the cream on the side and bottom of the shoe that'll be exposed to the UV lights. Try to make sure that the solution doesn't get on the uppers or it could erode the glue that holds the uppers to the midsoles. Place a plastic wrap over it, tapping it lightly to the shoe. And then I place it into the light box for 2 hours. Accidentally, it was supposed to be for no more than an hour, but I was watching a documentary with Pete Souza and then Lovecraft Country came on, so yeah. But this is what they were looking like after I removed the plastic wrap and washed and scrubbed off the solution. Night and day difference, right? So I did the other side of the shoe, the same thing, and that was it. I decided that that was gonna be as close as I was gonna get to getting those midsoles back to white. High five, well done, go to sleep. Tomorrow we paint. The next day, all right, it's the next day and now I want to remove this tab that's on the tongue because the tab on the other shoe is missing. So let's make them matchy-matchy. I tried using an X-Acto knife to get in between the laces of the tab and tongue, but I found these cuticle scissors worked the best. Now that that's done, I want to paint the outer tongue of the sneaker black. So first, let's use some masking tape to cover up the areas of the shoe where this paint might transfer onto. After that, I'm going to mix some GAC 900 plus some Angelus paint in a cup and apply it to the tongue of the shoe like this. And this is what it's looking like when I'm done. Afterwards, I throw it in a dryer on the rack for about 20 minutes so the paint can heat set. People have told me that they've used a blow dryer to heat set the paint onto the shoe, but I have no idea how long that takes. And just to throw a little caution your way, I painted the front of the tongue, not the back. I don't want the acrylic paint touching my skin because it's still acrylic. So be conscious about that. This is what it's looking like after it's been heat set. And now you don't see this footage because I thought I was recording. It wasn't. But I sanded over the leather parts of the sneaker with 400 to 600 grit sandpaper. After I wiped away any residual dust after the sanding, I take my acetone, cotton balls, and yellow gloves and apply that all over the shoe, yes, even over the gator print. For the first time in a long while, I'm inside doing this at my desk versus outside with the fan blowing on high to make sure the fumes are traveling away from me. You'll notice that the shine on the gator print will look matte after you wiped it down with acetone a few times. Now that all that prep work is done, time to start painting. And I'm gonna do the most time consuming part first, the toe box. Now I'm going to paint the cut side of the inner toe box area black. So I'm going to use vinyl tape to protect the actual toe box area that's going to be yellow. Use an X-Acto knife and the angled edge of your paintbrush or cuticle scissors to push the tape under that seam tolerance. After that's done, take a little black paint and paint that inner cut area and a bit of the outer toe box area or mud guard. Hit it with a blow dryer to set the paint and then remove the tape. And now, the easy part. Mix your yellow paint with Createx's flexible adhesion promoter, no more than 8 drops will do. Mix it well and start painting the yellow on the toe box area and all the other areas that'll be yellow. I apply at least 2 layers of this paint on the toe box area before I switch over to just using the yellow paint. For all the other areas of the shoe where it's inflexible, 1 layer of this mixture will do before switching over to just the yellow. After that's done, I switch to flat black. I do the same thing, apply 1 or 2 layers of the flat black with the Createx mixture before switching over to the plain flat black. I see a lot of loose hairs on this flap, so I'm going to take some nail clippers and tend to those hedges. And the final touch, applying Liquid Kicks finisher and matte finish with a fluffy brush to protect this custom paint job. Remember, you only need a tiny squirt of this solution. A little goes a long way. After you finish applying this, let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. Let the solution melt into the material and make sure there are no milky white spots before hitting it with a blow dryer to heat set it. And we're gonna do this one more time. Apply it, let it sit for a few minutes, and then heat set it. After that, it's time to lace them up, and this is what they're looking like. I know you'll want to strap these on after you finish painting them, but give them 24 to 48 hours so all the paint and materials can 1000% meld together. After that, have fun. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of The Weekend Project. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up or some other emoji. I'd sincerely appreciate it. You can also follow me on Instagram where I post photos of these sneaker transformations. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below in the comments. Links are also down below if you want to know about any of the products I used. And if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button as these sneaker projects come down the pipeline. I'm Gigi of Puck and Chaos, and I'll see you in the next video.